Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. We're back again this month's Aziza Growth series, and we are going to be talking about a juicy topic, right? Drum rolls. Boom. We're going to be talking about a Gen Z's entrepreneurial hustle, the pains and the gains. And we have one of us here, on this podcast today. And really, this particular person that we brought on board, like, knows his onions. He has been in the business for over 6 years, and he says, like, you know, yeah, I don't want to give you the juice of, how much he's making and all of that. Let's leave that to the end, right? But really, he's going to be sharing with us, his journey, the pains, the gains, and all of the in-betweens. And we're so excited. So I think the excitement is enough. Let me transfer it to him, right? So Victor, please introduce yourself.
Hey, good. Thank you, Phoebe. My name is Fasoyin Victor, co-founder and lead product manager at Richy Foods. We are into confectionaries, make peanut butter and granite cookies, which is generally known as kuli kuli.
Come on. Yeah, okay, so great. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for accepting to join the Aziza Growth series. Like, we're so glad that you decided to join. And you guys, you don't want to know what the time is right now where Victor is speaking from. But yeah, we're so grateful that you agreed to be on this call at this time. And so we're going to be just, starting with the beginning, and just to be able to get like a feel of where you all started from, right? So what would you say was the starting point for this business acumen? Because I understand that you also, are a 9 to 5, I believe. So where did it start from? Like, where did this hustle begin? Like, what's the beningi?
Thank you very much. Yeah, so right after my secondary school, I worked as a sales rep at a mattress distribution store. That was my first experience. After which I also went on to manage a mini store. So this experience wasn't so glamorous, but it taught me some basic sales techniques, human interaction, and set me on a hustle mindset, And also it was able to build in me a sense of responsibility and work ethic. So along the line, I could say even till now, this was like the bedrock, the building block for my hustle spirit and my business mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to be honest, I honestly think that this whole hustle thing that we always talk about, right? A lot of times is more of like, I would say natural, but I won't say natural at the same time. But like each and every one of us, in some sense, like, have certain things that come to us naturally. And sometimes it's in experiences that you're not able to find out that, oh, okay, this is something I'm good at. This is something I'm, and while you were doing your sales rep at the mattress store and managing this mini store, you did not have any idea that it was preparing you for something bigger, if that makes sense, and, the current business that you're doing. And that's really nice. And, but like moving on to even after that experience with, learning all the ropes of doing a business and all of that, right? What made you believe that you could build something? Because a lot of times, I'm sure you've heard this before, like this self-sabotage and just saying, oh, I can't do this, oh, I can't, I'm not able to, and I can't, and all that, words that in some sense nobody's telling you that you cannot do, but it is you by yourself, like, using your hand to say you cannot, right? So what made you actually believe that you could do something?
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, our experiences shape us, yeah. So if I were to be told that I would be in business for this long and I would just want to solely focus on business, I would argue. But I came to realize that when I was in those two places, there was this, I was able to learn and I was able to just see myself doing some things naturally, like naturally convincing you, naturally selling to you. Not that I was given a blueprint or a script to read out. And I saw the fact that, despite the fact that I just finished from secondary school, in fact, my store was even beside the road. My schoolmates do see me. At times I want to hide, but I felt like this was making me money. So what's my
Mm-hmm.
business?
Like what my biz
So
was.
you understand? They are not feeding me. So I had the
Courage.
intentionality. I had the courage. So I felt, oh, this could be something, and it really really helped me and shaped my mindset.
Mm. That's good. That's good. And I mean, like, moving on to the fact that there's in some sense experiences shape us, right? And a lot of times, like I said initially, like how we even though we can do certain things, we do not think we can do it, right? Until we actually are in that, point in time. And then the next for me is like, okay, especially now that this world that we're in, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, like everybody just wants to create content, right? Creating content. In fact, what we're doing right now, we're actually creating content, right?
Yeah.
And the question now begins like, okay, how can I navigate this whole content thing? Because there's also the part of you're overthinking, like my camera is not good enough. Oh, my lighting is not good enough. Like, what can I do? And so, what would you say is an Instagram versus reality thing for you? Like, so what would you say is like, oh, this was an Instagram versus reality moment for me? Because even though, like, you're fired up, you can do, you had those experiences, but did you have those moments of like, it's not as easy as Instagram makes it, or it's not as easy as TikTok makes it? So, like, what's that Instagram versus reality moment that you've had?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Mm.
La Richy Foods, which is the trademark of the brand Richy Peanut and Snacks. The products now that you see, all well branded. The growth
Looking
of the
nice. I saw
business.
it earlier. You guys, so can you show us? Can you just show us? Just show it a bit. Oh, show
Oh,
it a bit.
it's right. It's right here.
I know, right? Yes, nice,
Yeah,
nice packaging.
it's
Nice
always with
packaging.
me. It's always
Yeah.
with me. So now you are seeing the brand now and how nice and well packaged it is, but nobody remembers the backstory. Even
Tell us
before
about it.
before I got engaged into making peanuts, I had already launched a courier service immediately after I finished from my university.
Guys,
But
that's
then I
delivery
was
service. For sorry for interrupting. Delivery
yeah.
service. That's for the Korea. So I'm like Korea. What's Korea? Delivery, guys. Okay, go ahead.
Delivery. Okay, let me use the word delivery. So I was posted to the north for my service, my national service. So this affected the business because the business was just starting, and it was a location that really humbled me. Location where they humble person. How do you want to do the delivery? It was so crazy, and I was really attached to this. So it was during this time that I had the opportunity to meet my friends, my partner, my brother, and now I can call him family, which we partnered in making peanut burger. The product you see now is a product that came from a lot of struggle. I had a second degree burn during the production process.
Wow.
And it halted production for some time. But the scar is still here.
Yeah.
So also is the drive. Instagram will not show you this, but reality will.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Because really, like, absolutely, and I think that's I feel like maybe as the Gen Zs, as they grow older, I think you begin to realize that it's not always as it seems. There is definitely a price to pay for every form of result that you see, right? And and the second degree bond that you had, that halted the business would have looked like it would end the business totally. But here you are right now, still standing, and Richy Peanuts and Burger still, a business. And we're really grateful that happened. Yeah. Grateful to God that happened. Yeah, because of course there's always the God factor. So what's a common myth you've heard? Because right now I've said a lot of things, and I'm going to ask you, like, and be honest, right? What's the common myth of about Gen Z's entrepreneurs that you've heard that you're sick of hearing? Like what they always say about Gen Z's and Gen Z entrepreneur. You know how, like, let me give you one of the common myths. Like Gen Z's don't want to work hard; they just want to get it done. Like let's get it on in quickly, right? So what's that particular myth that you're sick of hearing about Gen Z entrepreneurs?
Yeah, it's no lie that we don't like stress. Yeah, that's for a fact. But I'm always sick of people saying we want everything fast and easy.
Okay.
People say Gen Z is always about vibes and aesthetics. you know. But the thing is, there are actually some of us who are building from scratch with no handouts. People that are pushing and trying to show up even when it is tough and difficult. We are not forgetting the fact that there are actually lazy ones, but we cannot generalize. You know, from building a courier, a delivery service, to frying peanuts in small kitchens in the corporate lodge, getting born, pausing production, starting over. There's nothing easy here. There's nothing easy here. We just know that this Gen Z generation, we have the idea of doing things differently, especially with the development of AI and technological advancements. But this doesn't mean we are lazy.
Okay. On behalf of the Gen Z's family, Victor is announcing that the Gen Zs are not lazy. Okay, we will leave that for the audience to judge or to agree or not agree. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And the truth, as you said, that there are lots of Gen Zs who are actually building from scratch, that do not have handouts and are doing their best to keep showing up regularly, keep showing up every day, even when they don't feel like it. I absolutely agree to that. And we see that even in some of the content or influencers and content creators that we see. Because really, if you're going to be honest, to create content is not easy. Like, you have to decide that you are coming out to be able to do this, regardless of how you're feeling. You may be having mood swing or whatever, really, but you just have to show up. Yeah. And then speaking about showing up, right? Tell me a time when you thought about quitting. Apart from your second degree one, did you think about quitting? Or don't say apart, because that's actually major, right? What time did you think of quitting? Like, you know what, guys, I'm done. Like, I became saloni. So yeah, what was that time you had like the I want to quit kind of energy?
We all have this I became salon moment. In fact,
sorry, I don't understand Yoruba. I became salon. Should I run away? So yeah, go ahead, Victor.
Should I run when the pressure is too much, But for me, quitting was never an option. No matter how hard the goings get, we're still going to push through. Yeah, like you said, aside the physical bond, it was during the period where I was trying to scale the delivery business from a unfamiliar environment, because I was so attached to the business. The first business I ever launched, and I was trying so much. I was trying to help it because I was seeing I wanted it so bad to work. But textbooks will not teach you this. At times, quitting is not failure. At times, it could just be a wise decision for you to step into another lane, for you to pause, for you to just try something. Because it was during this low that I had the opportunity to start making peanuts. And now look at it. Look at it now. It's now looking so huge that it's going to be one of the greatest things we are building. So I would say quitting was never an option for me.
Thank you so much. Like, that's so profound. Especially when you said that, quitting doesn't mean failing. Like, that you quit a particular job doesn't mean that you're failed. Because if you didn't quit the delivery job or the delivery business, I meant to say, you possibly not have gotten this idea of starting the peanut business, right? And that's really profound. So guys, like, even if like it's looking like this business is not doing that, or this you are doing it, it didn't just keep at it, right? You can decide to try another business, try another idea, pray, think about another thing that you can do, look around you, right? And you find out that the answers are just there, like sitting right there, right? And yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And so I'm going to actually ask about your mental health, because Gen Z's and mental health in their like this, they go hand in hand, they go two in between, they go two in two. And so how do you balance your mental health with all of the pressure that comes with doing business?
Well, I won't lie, it's a struggle, man. It's a real struggle, especially when you are building something from the scratch. The time to rest and work, at times they don't even align. You can't even pick that. Okay, you're working, you're resting at this point. You're always working. You gain weight you lose weight. You ask your doctor, why are you losing weight? Say, because when you're even sleeping, you are not sleeping. Your brain is still working. Like, the generator is still on. So it's always very, very difficult. But I try to study myself. I try to decompress by cooking, which is an hobby.
Okay.
Yeah. So I also try to stay on social media. At times I mute notification just to, there's a lot of pressure out there, man. There's a lot of pressure. You have to savor what you feed your mind with. And so I would say the hustle culture, it shouldn't mean self-neglect. Yeah. You are the engine. If the engine knocks, the whole movement stalls. So I'm learning to value myself as much as I value my dream.
Thank you so much for sharing. Like, all these things are just marbles, like words on marble. Guys, are you writing notes? Are you jotting things down? Because this is a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And as your idea of success changed, right? As your idea of what success is, has it changed by reason of this experience with your business?
Yeah, definitely it has changed. When we were all small, relatively, success to me was making money, growing fast when you are known. But now, success to me means impact. When your product is solving a need, your product is creating joy, and also you are inspiring others to want to build something for themselves. So that has made me understand that it's not just about the popularity, the money. What solution is your product bringing? And that has really helped me and affected positively my mentality.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because really, I feel like value will remain relevant where money and other things are driving one. Because the moment people are able to see the value, right? So I was checking your status like some days ago, and I saw somebody saying, "Oh, like they had the peanuts and it was so good." They were really talking about it. Yeah,
that's talking me.
I need to know about the person I'm bringing on this podcast, right? There's no crime. So yeah, essentially, and she was just really talking about how she really liked the peanuts and all of that, right? And it just goes to show that I don't know if she was paid for it, but I don't think so, right?
It's just a review. It's a customer review.
Exactly. So I'm saying. So for us to be able to show our face and tell people that this peanut is good, it means something. And yeah, I'm really glad that you are not just saying what you're saying. You're actually, like, I can see results, if that makes sense, of what you're saying. And that's good. That's good. So what tool or habits would you say has made you level up, right? Like, what's that tool or habit? Because the truth is that every man's secret is in his story, is in his everyday habits, right? So what would you say is that habit that you have that has helped you level up?
Yeah, well, for me, I would say there are two things. Resilience and belief. I'm a very dogged kind of person. When I set out to do something, I do it wholeheartedly. And when it comes to a product, you have to be the first champion of your product. If you don't believe in your product, there's no way you can convince a second person to believe in it.
Absolutely.
I worked on the product so much that even a friend literally called me a shameless marketer. I could sell the product, name it, in class, in church, on my WhatsApp status, you name it. So I took it upon myself that this is my business, and I was very, very, very consistent with that.
Yeah, unashamedly telling the whole world that, guys, you're not eating Richy peanuts, you are wrong.
You get, so you need the boldness. If you don't believe in your products, then who will? So you have to so that really helped me, and that's been a major factor for me.
Yeah, that's so good. So what's next for you? What should we be expecting? What's next?
Growth, definitely.
Come on.
For Richy food, I'm looking to scale. I'm looking at automation. Trying to automate some production process. As well as expand our international market environment. Yeah, and also in the near future add new line of products, and
Food
we
line
have
or
to
another line?
new line, yeah. Food line definitely, yeah. Food
Okay.
line, yeah. So food line. So, and also I want to talk more, show young founders some tips they need to find their feet early, especially those that are not from connection and capital. And also I'm likewise into software quality assurance. So I wish to dive deeper, and also personal development. I believe I'm of the opinion that not just building the brand, but also building the brain. And also I'm taking time to also enjoy this time. The grind never ends, but the joy must begin.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
The journey must begin. The journey must begin. Yeah. And I mean, I
didn't say the journey. I didn't say the journey. I said the grind never ends. The joy must begin.
Oh, I see.
The fruit of your labor. Yes, the joy must begin.
The joy must begin. So sorry. Okay, I got it now. The joy must begin. Yeah. So what advice would you never give another young entrepreneur? And this is not what advice would you give, because usually that's what you always hear. But what's the advice that you would never ever give any young entrepreneur that don't all these don'ts, DONT in caps? What would that advice be?
I would never tell anyone to wait till everything is perfect. Yeah, the star never really aligned. You can't wait. You have to start. Progress is in starting. And you evolve and you refine as you go. I'm of the opinion that looking at my brand, for instance. Now we started with an unbranded product, product that people laughed at. At times you enter some market space, you'll be like, hey, see how this competitor's brand is. Hey, we didn't even look at this. But this didn't stop us, because we knew where we were going to. We knew it was a phase, so it was a gradual process. So I'm always of the idea that you learn, you launch, you learn, and you level up. And you shouldn't just wait, worry, and wither. You understand?
Yeah. Launch, learn, and level up. Come on. Yeah. Launch, learn, and level up. I definitely need to put that in my mind. Launch, learn, and level up. Right. That's so good. That's so good. Will you be able to say in 3 words what your journey has been, like to describe your journey in 3 words? And if you don't mind, you can also give some context to it, right? So just give us in 3 words what your journey has been.
Yeah, definitely. From what I've said thus far, you can even pick it yourself.
Absolutely.
Resilience will be there. Intentional and audacious. When I say resilience, from starting a delivery business to frying peanuts in the lodge, to getting born, to stopping production, to restarting, to changing and rebranding, to growth, basically. You won't have stick to that process if you are not resilient. You stand, you rebuild, and you keep showing up. That's been something I try as much as possible to do.
Yeah.
So when it comes to intentionality now, every DM about Richy Peanuts, it's always taken care of with all seriousness. Every customer is special. Every customer is important to us. And audacious, like I said, a friend called me a shameless marketer. For someone to have called you a shameless marketer, it means you don't send anybody. Always
on your grind.
You understand? You don't send anybody, so you believe in what you're doing, and you just keep at it. Even when people don't appreciate it, or people don't clap for you yet, or you just keep going.
Keep it going. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is so good. When they don't clap for you, just keep going. Just keep going. And the truth is that I do not even think that entrepreneurs should live for the claps, because whether it comes or not, just face your front and get it on. And that's what we have learned today from Victor Fasoyin. Like, he has given us a sneak peek of his daily life as an entrepreneur, the journey of how he got to where he is right now. And this guy, anyway, I already promised I was going to give you a range, but trust me, it's a lot, And then thinking about like the nature of what he's doing, and you'd probably be like, what can possibly be in this? But trust me, resilience, audaciousness, intentionality has gotten him to where he is right now to be able to make, in six figures, right? Yeah, six figures actually, in revenue. And I am so grateful to be able to bring him on this podcast. And I hope that you've been able to pick one or two things from this conversation and realize that don't sleep on yourself, boo. You can do this. Don't sleep on yourself. You can get this done. You can do it, right? We're rooting for you. As usual, Aziza Growth Foundation, Aziza Development Foundation, really, we are empowering women, helping them see themselves beyond what they have seen themselves. We believe that they are precious, they are mighty, right? And so therefore, we hope that this story today has encouraged you as well as it has encouraged me and, made me to say, girl, you got to do something, right? So yeah, thank you so much.
Can I add something before we go?
Yes, you can. By all means, yes, you can.
Yeah, so just like you said, we as we're encouraging the women, the girl child, there's one of my favorite quotes that I work with is, the fear of failure, name it. You have to step in with courage. No matter how we talk about it, it's your decision. You have to step in with courage. And if it works, it's beautiful. If it doesn't, you move forward with experience. So either ways, you grow. So that's very, very key.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's such a nice and point out. I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much, Victor, for spending this time with us. We're so grateful. And we see you another time on the Aziza Growth series. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.